We're doing a sod installation here. If you can see this brick patio, there's a curve to it. Put down this topsoil here. Saw the pictures of the grading. There's the remainder of the drainage from the downspout up here. That's all been taken care of. It's in about where we want it. And when we're rolling this sod out on a curve, I'm going to show you what I'm doing here to make it look good. Roll it out. You can see it starts getting away from the edge right here. Some sod is stretchy enough you can bend it a little bit, but at some point it's got to be cut. So you cut a wedge out of it here. These two edges, want the edges to touch. Pick the sod up a little bit. Make sure it's where it needs to be. Seam is good. I'm going to go all around the edges lengthwise with sod. And then we'll make strips through the middle. Rolling sod out on the edges here. You can see I rolled out this piece, cut a little notch, and almost made it to the wall. We're following this bed edge here. I'm going to take it right to the wall. There's a little gap. Didn't worry about it. Went right over here. Made another strip. Keep it going. And chopped it off. Fill it in our spot. Why outline your lawn area with pieces of sod? Why not just roll them straight out to the edge and chop it? Good question. Here's the best answer I got. You're going to run into things like this. Little areas that are not squares and little spots like triangles. And if you have little triangles and little squares filling in gaps along this edge here, these edges of a lawn are going to dry out faster. They're going to be more prone to weeds, invasives, tools like weed eaters, and people walking on and off the lawn. It'd be very easy to kick those little pieces right off the edge. But if it's surrounded by other turf grass, a little triangle piece like that is probably going to be all right. So we'll find a piece that'll fit in there soon enough. I don't know if this one's going to do it right here, but we'll just chop it and we'll find a new place for it. Maybe right there. So this is why did we outline it with the sod and then fill it. Makes it a lot easier. Nobody's gonna kick little triangles or squares of turf out. And let me see, I got a bunch of it in here. We'll come back, check back in a minute when I get a little more done. I have something else to say about it. All right, I'm rolling out this sod. I wanted to show you a pro tip, something that's gonna help you get good results with your sod. Here's where the edge piece is. It's a curve, remember? And then this piece is gonna drop right there. I got the corner right there. So we've got a little bit of overlap right here. I'm gonna use a spade, chop it right about there. pro tip right here. You got to chop out this other piece of turf. I'm going to pull it up. You'll see the edge. See the edge? We do the same thing when we roll it out. These edges, that roll of sod will roll over the grass next to it and make it obvious right there. Here's the other edge piece. Make sure our edges are touching. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. All right, we're checking in again with the sod project. You're with me through this whole part, outlining this area, lots of angles, lots of little areas, corners, going up through here. Now on this top section, I started rolling this out and did the edge up here. And because it's more of a wavy edge, there's only, I think, one piece that I really cut into right here, that curve. That's the piece I really ended up cutting. And I think there's a row right there, if you can tell where I cut it. But most of these are following the same contour. And just got a last little bit at this end. All right, we've put all the sod down. And the finishing touches that I'm doing is, you might call this a pro tip. Seed the seams. You can even seed over a whole sod. But seeding the seams, you still sort of notice where they are. Do the best we can. Get these pieces of sod lined up. And then afterwards, sprinkle seeds. This is the same species of grass. Tall fescue. What you're growing in your area might be different. And this tall fescue is very tall for sod, for freshly cut sod. So the sod rolls were a little heavier. And of course, they're never light. But this is a way to get good results and give the rapid result of a lawn. And when this seed comes up, it'll be difficult to tell we just rolled sod out. It might be 2 weeks for these seeds to take in. And another thing that I'm going to do, I have some extra composted topsoil. I'll be sprinkling topsoil in some of these spots as well. All right, checking back in with this yard where I applied the sod, did the sod installation. And this is a week and a half later. This is existing lawn that was not sodded, but as we come through here, you can see there's this area right here where you can see these were squares of turf that got laid out. Right along there, I put down new grass seed. Remember the pro tip, put seed down when you do sod, because now it's growing in all those bare spots. We got baby grass coming in there in these little corners, blending in with the existing lawn. And this tall fescue looks great. It's taken really well. I'm gonna jump up on the wall and take a walk around. And this spot looks like it might be too wet. Looks like it has brown patch disease. Looks like it's getting a little bit of disease. Notice we have some leaves are starting to fall. These are things that affect it. Yeah, it looks like there's some disease going on through there. I'm gonna let the customer know. Brown patch disease is a fungus that, instead of growing mushrooms, it uses the grass leaf as a mushroom. And if you look closer on it, you can see these lesions. So this grass is, we want to water grass when it gets laid down like sod, but with too much water, the roots can't breathe. Yes, we do need air in the soil, or everything rots. But down here it looks great. I'm looking at everything. They got some spotlights down here. Check it out. This little corner is tricky. It filled in pretty good. This area. Good. So yeah, that's sod installation. And I'm gonna take a step back and look at it from right here, where you can't see where those blocks of sod were. Maybe a little bit. Maybe that's just people walking back and forth. It doesn't need to know. But anyway, there's our sod installation.